life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If we don't respect the most vulnerable among us, then what truly matters in life? Brandon Gentili here. This is, I say this a fair amount, an important one. This is for your soul. This is for your soul. Overton window. Why is it people trying to move the Overton window further and further away from reason and morality and into postmodernism, where opinions replace facts, constantly use straw man arguments? Why is that? Well, simple answer is that's all they have. Emotions sell. Logic does not. That's the basic premise of a straw man argument. Using the outlier as the rule. Using the exception as the rule instead of the common occurrence, instead of the majority. Using things that seemingly don't make sense as the rule and shooting that across society as that's going to be the norm. That's the standard we are going to live by. It's like 100 people asking them, what is gravity? You know, what's the rate of gravity? 9.8 meters squared per second. And one person says 10.8 meters squared per second. That one person is how we, yep, you know what? We're going to go with Tim over here who said 10.8. That's what we're going to go with. That's the logic we are using in society to move it forward somehow. Well, that's why we're having so many problems. We are coming to the end of that road. And the Overton window is really a concept just talking about moving society over and over and over, just slightly, little by little, day by day, over and over and over again. That's the Overton window. So that one day you wake up and you're way over here. When you initially started here, you're just the frog in the boiling pot. Maybe it's another example, another analogy you can use. Straw man arguments are used to take exception, not the rule, and use stories to create emotion and sell people on the concept of why something must be done. Humans don't get persuaded by logic. They get moved by emotions, stories. What most of us forget, though, is that empathy exists in a world where we operate in reality. That does happen. That is there. Some may say that it's there in that world of reality, and the ones instead of the ones that are fake or the exception, the one that we are using, the outlier. But to really move and persuade people, we divide them up into classes or groups and then pit them against each other with straw man arguments and prey on the good nature of each human to blindly trust that those in positions of power would never lie or do anything to hurt other people. They rely on the fact that they know most people will never fact check them or give them more than 2 seconds of thought to check them. That's how evil and insidious it is. They rely on that goodness of the people inside of all people. They rely on that, knowing that those people will trust them. And no matter what, even to their own detriment, they'll trust people and say, you know what, that politician, that leader, that despot, that tyrant, that human being wouldn't do anything to hurt me or take advantage of me or use their power over me. There's no way, because I wouldn't do it, so why would they do it? Straw man versus steel man. Arguments against first principles, nature's law, are generally emotional and based off of the 1% cases. And again, this is not, like I said, we care about every single person. I am a staunch Catholic, and I believe in treating every human life as precious, no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter what you identify as, it doesn't matter. But I'm using this as to show what's going on here and how we are making society. Transgender debate, where less than 0.3 to 0.5% of the adult population, about 1.4 million in the United States, is identifying as this. But we put our children at risk in bathrooms and in sports. For what? For what reason? Like we just said, the 1 out of 100. We're going to go with the guy who says gravity is 10.8 meters squared per second. That's insanity. We're using emotions instead of logic. That is a massive, massive problem. Abortion. Again, another topic. Rape and incest account for around 1.5 to 2% of the pregnancies, and we make policy for murdering children because of the stories people tell you about not being able to control your body. That's a typo. I don't know why they have that there. That is absolute insanity. Again, we're making policy based off of emotion, using emotion and stories and the 1% of cases or the less than 1% or whatever it might be to make rule for the entire country against what's good, against what's common sense. Gun rights. The 400 million guns in this country, more than we actually have in the United States, that commit no crimes. They don't walk around shooting people or shooting, their owners or whatever. They don't do anything. They're inanimate objects, just like cars, knives, etc., pills. But one mentally deranged person goes off, and we need to eliminate guns all of a sudden. Well, how do you argue that when we don't do this with opioids? That's totally fine. We're doing this all over the place. People can off themselves with opioids. Cars that all the time. Jeez. With knives? Yes, you better believe it. Facts aren't kind to those with narratives and talking points. Again, and we have some other data here too. I actually have some, I'm going to put in here some these facts and figures. Actually, I'm going to show you some of these things. I'll put them in right now, actually. Unintentional injuries and deaths. And then we'll actually show some of this as well. Right here, just to show you what's actually happening, what's actually going on, and where, right here, down here, 1% or less than 1% for these certain cases. And like I said, guns, I don't see those up here. We have poisoning, motor vehicle traffic, drowning, falls, stuff like that. Those are the things that are accounting for all of this. That's the disaster in all of this that no one is talking about. And again, we have the guns here, which I'll put up here. So the 400 million guns. This is, again, I just want to give you a, that way you can see what's actually going on here. So again, this is why this is very, very important to see. There's 400 million guns in the country, civilian guns, more than the rest of the world combined. And again, I don't see accidental gun deaths or anything like that. Again, you can dive into this yourself. I just wanted to give, just kind of basic, just a basic example of what's going on here, what's actually happening. Because we're in a real world of hurt. This is not good. It's not good for society. And again, go to the links here. I have the links of where I was finding these things as well. So you can go to those links and go check that out. But again, like I said, this is not a political debate of why, if this is good or if this is not good, or if, owning a firearm or not, or abortion or the trans debate. These are not things to say, one way or another. I'm trying to really just frame the argument of saying, why is it we continually go against reality, truth, objectivism, whatever it is? Why are we continually going against this? Going against, we're continually recreate the wheel over and over again when it's already invented. We already know it's 9.8 meters squared per second is gravity. So why do we continually do this? So anyway, like I said, this is more to make my argument of why do we continue to do these things that are we know inherently, subconsciously and factually that they're wrong, but we use emotion. We continually make these cases of emotion instead of what's truly happening and what should be happening. So that's this is the acta non verba, right? Deeds, not words, as the Marines say. This is really important because this is what the politicians are constantly doing. Facts are not kind to those narratives and talking points, and yet we have these things we know, acta non verba, deeds, not words. And people can say all they want. They can make every argument and say, oh, my intention is this, my intention is that. Well, what are your actions? What are you actually doing? You're telling me all about climate change, but yet you're spewing carbon, flying, jet setting all around the world to your fancy cocktail parties. Deeds, not words. When you don't look beyond the emotional one-off story of straw man or the argument with no context, it's easy to make broad, sweeping accusations. Politicians and the unproductive class know that most people won't spend 5 minutes to go look up this simple information. Be hard to persuade and quick to lean on your own judgment and discernment. Trust, but verify. Be the careful guardian for what you allow to enter your subconscious mind and accept as reality, as your reality. Look for steel man arguments that are based in sound principles and logic. Nature's principles, nature's laws, first principles, and not based off of hysteria and emotions. Woke culture is a creation of which good people on both sides have sat by silently and hoped that if we just give them this one thing, it will all go away. The slippery slope is real. How many times does one have to be fooled, topic after topic, until one realizes that evil does not stop until light and truth eradicate it? This is just an equation I came up with, but empathy plus accountability plus responsibility plus honesty times hard work and preparation equals free and strong, prosperous society where the most people benefit. The standard of living has increased the most, and the costs have come down. And as Ayn Rand noted, you can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So true. Truth and reality are fixed firm in nature's laws and first principles, like we just noted. Our culture has been distorted by those who seek to gain power over their opponents. People who feel they've been slighted by society and fell victim for some reason or another, when in reality everyone is a fallen human, and we are all victims of something and in full control. We are all in full control of what we choose to do about it and make our own circumstances in our life. We are in control of that. God gave us that free will. How come our leaders aren't telling us to look for the future and come together, but instead seek to look to the past and divide us to bring about revenge and stoke anger and fear? Fear, fear, fear. It's all about fear. That's how you control people. the longer our money is broken, and the longer we can permit falsehoods and fake companies and fake propaganda to exist. The endless currency printing that we fund through inflation and direct taxation, indirect and direct taxation, is what pays for the fake marketing campaigns of companies and broken campaign promises of politicians. Our economic time and energy is stolen through inflation and taxes and fed back to us in propagandized marketing from companies and governments. How come we seem to keep going the same direction no matter who is in power? That is why. The broken monetary system. It allows us, the unelected class, the bureaucrat class, to just keep shuffling us off. Don't read it until we pass it. Don't see what's in it until we pass it bills. And just keep doing it and just keep shuffling us down the same exact path. That's in large part of why Donald Trump was elected, for instance, the swamp. You know, he pinpointed what people were feeling on both sides. That's the crazy part. And it wasn't, and he's not, there's no man or woman that's good to answer, really. It's the principles, it's the thought behind what's going on. And that's why we talk about Bitcoin so much, that network and separating money from state. Life. The answer may lie in the fact that very few of us truly respect life. If we don't respect life, then how do we respect or value our own life? Then by extension, we certainly won't respect others' lives if we cannot even respect our own life, right? If we don't protect life, then nothing else matters. There's nothing to argue if none of us are here. And here's Bill Gates, non-productive class, openly talking about it being cool to off 10 to 15% of the population so they can benefit and run your life. Literally, here's videos of him doing that. And Yuval Harari from the World Economic Forum. You cannot make these Bond villains up if you tried. They tried to come across as unsuspecting victims or getting played. Yet they are the kingmakers, setting policy and influencing at the highest levels. A little typo there. Do not be led astray. We are the ones getting played. This is from Harari. You can see videos of them, images of them, their own writing. They talk about what is going on and what they want to do to you, to me, to all of us. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. I honestly don't know how one person, normal person, can sit here and make an argument for these people. I have zero clue. If they succeed, then nothing is sacred. And what does any political talking point matter if none of us are here? Why spend energy? If we're not protecting life, none of us will be here. So no other talking point matters at that point, right? It's all moot because we're not here. So why are we not talking about life and that's it? Why spend energy on anything else? We cannot get the basic fundamental building blocks right. Life, sanctity of life, liberty, freedoms, and pursuit of happiness, property, owning your stuff, for lack of a better phrase, were not put into the American founding documents in that order for no reason. Please ask yourself why that is. Please. These people are not on your side. They're not on my side. Gates, Yuval, Klaus, Soros, and crew could care less about your rights to your body or what you identify as or about climate change, as evidenced by a seemingly unlimited amount of examples, like we just showed you earlier, and also all of these. Here you go, down here, the Pfizer lady testifying in the EU about, we didn't test this stuff, just lying to your face. The unproductive class jetting around the world and scold you about spewing hot carbon into the ether. The talks above from men who only want power and to eliminate your God-given brain from the earth. Mindless drone leaders around the world all saying the same talking points, amplified by bought and paid media in school systems. Protests being stopped and participants' bank accounts being frozen all around the world. The unproductive class is using useful idiots to do their bidding and trumpet their anti-human agenda. We've seen this process play out before. We've seen it in the Soviet Union. We've seen it all across the world. I believe the useful idiots term came from Lenin or Stalin. Someone can correct me, put in the comments where that came from exactly. But time to be awake is now. It's time to be wide awake. The madness ends here. We choose reality, truth, and sound principles. We reject postmodernism and choose fact over opinions. We use our higher faculties given to us by the Lord and make our own decisions and are in control of our own lives. Reason, will, imagination, memory, perception, intuition. I pray for our healing and discernment. Stay strong. If you like this, please let me know what you like, what you don't like, how we can do better, and how we can provide more entertainment, more education. And please like and subscribe, and please share it to someone you might know. We obviously have just many people that have been thinking these things that I've been talking to for a while now. And again, one of the reasons I do this is to share my stories and share what I'm doing and my thoughts on this, my study of 20 years of going through this and seeing from the political side to the money side to the theologians to the just philosophical, personal development, everything. And the things I've been studying, the businesses that we've been building, and being in pro sports, and just seeing people from all walks of life. So I appreciate you. Please let us know, again, if you don't like it, what we can do better. And if someone that does like it, please like and subscribe. And if you know someone that could benefit from this, please like and subscribe, but share with someone as well. And we appreciate your time. It's the most important asset we have. The last couple of videos we did were about money. What is money? I think it's one of the most important videos and vlogs I've ever done. What is money? What does it actually mean? And the true meaning behind it. And it's very simple. It's only a few minutes, but it's true, the true definition. And it sets you on a different course in your entire life. So anyway, please check those out. Let me know what you think. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.